What is up, YouTube? This is AVAULT here, back again today with you guys, another new Speed Duel deck profile. And a lot of you guys have also been asking for me to do this deck profile, so I'm really excited to show you guys, and you guys might know more. And today we are doing the Gearfried Swordmaster deck profile right here for you guys. And if you guys been following the channel, you guys might have noticed I released the match duel of the Gearfried Swordmaster deck versus the Dinosaurs deck earlier a couple days ago. So decided to do that in reverse this time and see how you guys like it, which one you guys prefer or not. Do you guys prefer the deck profile first and then the match duel video, or do you guys prefer the match duel video first and then the deck profile? So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys prefer, and then I'll do whichever according to what you guys like the most. And yeah, we're just gonna go straight into it, and this is the exact same deck we used from that match with no cards changed whatsoever, so that you guys and give you a very detailed breakdown of the deck overall. So as always, start with a quick card sleeve review right here. We're using the Link of Reigns red sleeve version 1, just plain in color, fiery simple, really like it, really shiny as well, and it just works really well with the fiery heart of Joey right here. And as always, the skill to begin with, we are playing Last Gamble, which is a very interesting gimmicky skill that some of you might really not like it, but I personally really like the skill. The skill works really great a lot of the times actually. And in order to make the skill work, you do have to construct the deck to sort of utilize off this skill overall. So what this card does is, at the start of the 5th turn, activate this skill, count both players' turns, and it doesn't take that long, honestly. So no matter what, at the 5th turn, I believe you have to flip the skill over to show your opponent, but you don't have to use it at the 5th turn, so you can use it whenever afterwards. During your main phase, you can reduce your life points to 100, discard 2 cards from your hand, and roll a 6-sided die, and draw cards equal to the result. This skill can only be used once per duel. And yeah, you guys might be thinking it's a huge cost. There's a lot of things that you guys don't like about it, and it's really like literally called Last Gamble. That's the reason why you will only use this in a last resort situation, or in the time when you're actually trying to game your opponent in that one single turn, or when you're desperate and need that situation. But let's just quickly run straight into the monsters. We are running 2 Gearfried Swordmasters right here. Of course, the ace monster, the boss monster of this deck, you must. I don't recommend 3. It gets very bricky and it becomes a dead draw. You do not want to draw into this card, and playing 2 makes it very easy and drawable. Before I used to play 1, but I felt like it was a little bit underwhelming, and you only have 1 bet and 1 shot. Once you lose this one, it's over. But yeah, 2 is a good safe amount. And you can always, like I mentioned, if it turns into too bricky or clunky in your hand, you can actually utilize with Last Gamble to toss it away, as long as you have another one in your deck or in your hand. And of course, we are playing 3 Gearfried Swordmaster Iron Knight right here. Really good card, especially with Blast Sphere being extremely popular nowadays with the new set. Blast Sphere does not work on Gearfried the Iron Knight, which is really great. And of course, we're playing 3 Command Knights, also a new addition in Scars of Battle. Just a really cool staple warrior type monster that you would have. Just boosting up Gearfried the Iron Knight to 2200 base attack. Incredibly insane. Also, when you have 2 Command Knights on the field, basically just 2 Command Knights on the field, basically your opponent can't basically attack either, or which basically completely stops their attack, which is really good. Last but not least, for the monsters, we're actually playing 2 Sphere Karibos in here, and to basically turn in any monsters that are defense positions. Self-explanatory, a very powerful staple card that works really well in almost any deck nowadays. So that rounds up with the monsters. Next, moving on to our spells, we are playing 3 Release Restraints, and some of you are very confused at the moment, because some of you might be thinking, why are you playing 2 Gearfried Swordmasters and 3 Release Restraints? You can't get the 3rd one, no matter if you have the 3rd spell right here or not. Well, the reason is Release Restraint with Gearfried, and when you look at the combo ratios and probability, you want to get Release Restraint with Gearfried the Iron Knight on your hand as soon as possible, and with 1 more Release Restraint increases the chances and probability to bring out your Swordmaster from the deck. And not to worry, like I said, you know, if you end up having too many on your hand and clunky, Last Gamble is always there, and these become really good targets to send your Last Gamble, discard these 2 cards to get yourself a much better hand overall, depending on the situation. So, you know, this is what I would recommend. Some of you might not agree whatsoever, but you know, this is what I find out and works best for me from playtesting a lot. And as you guys can probably see from the match duel, it proves it that it's not too bad as well. So one more spell card, we're playing Gravity Axe Growl, just a really good booster. You know, 500 attack, really good. You know, can't make your opponent can't change their battle positions, which is also very good. You know, of course, self-explanatory with Swordmaster. What Swordmaster does, actually, sorry, I should have explained this earlier. The boss monster right here can only be special summoned with Release Restraint, no matter what. And each time an equipped card is equipped to this card, you can target one monster your opponent controls and basically destroy it, which is really good. That's why you gotta play, you know, at least one equipped spell. If not, then moving to our traps, we are playing 3 Kunai with Chains for the exact same reason. And it combos very well with Gravity Axe sometimes, because when you Kunai with Chain and change your opponent's monster into defense position right there, and then you put Gravity Axe during the next turn, they can't change their battle positions, which is really good. Also, just so you guys know, Gravity Axe doesn't allow them to manually change the battle positions. So anything with Windstorm or Ready for Intercepting, Kunai, that type of stuff, the effect does go through anyways. So yeah, just basically you guys know you can't manually change it. Last but not least, we're running 2 Dust Tornadoes, you know, just want some back row removal, just to make it clear and easy for you to swing in your attacks. I prefer Dust Tornado a little bit over Night Beam now, although I have mentioned Night Beam is really great before, and actually it's highly debatable, so it really comes down to your personal preference. If you want to play 2 Night Beams, be so, go ahead, and you know, depending on, you know, just make sure what sort of matchups you're up against. You know, maybe if your opponent's set to have lots of wild tornadoes and security orbs in their deck, then you probably don't want to play Night Beam. You want to play Dust Tornado instead, so you can target field spells such as Amazons or Heavy Metal Raiders, for example, right now in the meta. Last but not least, the final trap. We are playing 1 Ready for Intercepting. Usually I say this is a much better side deck card rather than a main deck card, but again, you know, 1 is really good because there's still lots of spellcasters and warrior types that you're mainly playing against or versing against nowadays, and you know, the only decks that don't really do that would be zombies and dinosaurs as well as machines. But you know, if you do face them, don't worry, because sometimes Ready for Intercepting, you can think about using it on yourself, which is not too bad as well. The reason why you want to play 1 as well is because, you know, with the popularity of Aerosol, with the Hidden Parasite skill combo, your opponent will be popping and wiping your board clean with their pseudo dark hole combo right there. And you know, in order to protect your monsters, you can actually RFI your own monster, and it basically doesn't count as an insect monster anymore. And once it doesn't count as an insect monster, the eradicating aerosol will not destroy your face down monster, so you can still protect yourself from there overall. So that basically rounds off for the entire main deck. We're gonna move on to the side deck and show you guys what we play in there. Since I also play 1 RFI already in the main deck, so it only makes sense to play 2 RFIs just in case if you are against a heavy spellcaster warrior type monster deck. Self-explanatory. We play 2 Metal Morphs. Just in case, you know, your monsters are not strong enough to run over your opponent's monsters. A good example would be Blue Eyes decks, as well as Dinosaur decks, where, you know, sometimes even our monsters here might be underwhelming going against the really powerful, strong monsters on the field. So Metal Morph is also, you know, very good to play in. And right here, again, combos well with Swordmaster. And then last but not least, 1 Possessed Dark Soul, you know, Relinquished, when you're against a Relinquished matchup. RFI as well, really good against Relinquished. And then one last one is Wicked Breaking Flameberg. Wow, so this card is really interesting. Some people nowadays will play a lot of flip effect monsters such as Man-Eater Bug, Apprentice Magician, Gale Lizard, and you know, having this really helps and makes it really good against those decks, so you're not losing too much overall. So that basically rounds up the entire Gearfried Swordmaster deck profile right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, be sure to give it the thumbs up, support the AVAULT channel by subscribing, and once again, comment down below what you guys think about this deck profile and as well the match duel from before. If you guys haven't watched it, be sure to check that out. As always, you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. And this is AVAULT, signing out.